Better hurry. Maximum file size has been reached.
What? My introductions are always weird because I have no idea how to introduce videos, and it doesn't really matter because hardly anybody knows my channel exists anyway, so I don't need anything official. So, the unofficial intro to this is simply me and my sister Vicki owned a lot of books. And what better to do with the books that you never actually read more than once in your life but you own for some reason than to talk about them where everybody else can hear you. So we talked about them where everybody else can hear us. And she's laughing at me now. And she's holding, that's why I'm shaking. She's holding the camera laughing at me. So there's this thing on the internet. It's called book tags or whatever, and there's a whole bunch of different ones, and some of them are fun and some of them aren't as fun, and some of them are harder to do and some of them are easier to do. So I decided to just make up my own. So I made up my own, and Vicki contributed a couple of questions. So we decided to make our own. That's like 30 questions long, 31, because there's a part 1 and part 2 because I didn't write one down for some reason. So it's all about the books we own, and there you go. Have fun, because I can edit videos now, so this is going to be really edited. Have fun.
You're now being recorded.
Okay, questionnaire. I'll do the intro after. Anyway, whatever, because I can edit now. Okay, so questionnaire that I came up with on my own because Vicki attributed a couple but not very many. Question number 1, which she's tapping on her like. Because she got a little bit of a heads up and then I answered it for her. Do you own a book starting with the letter Z?
That's because I do own a book, a whole series starting with the letter Z, but it was upstairs in my room, so I had to go get it.
And what is it?
Zombie Loan. In a very terrible copy because it was a public library. It says starting with the letter Z.
Nope, I do not.
Question number 2. Do you hate a book starting with the letter C?
I can't think of any.
That I own? No.
I didn't put that you own on here because generally if you hate a book, you don't own it. Or you could say, do you hate something in a book with the title, starting with the title's third letter C? Curse of Sedmore. Okay. Yes, I hate the fact that he's 16 years old and he's sleeping with people. And worse than that, he ends up sleeping with sisters and having kids with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate that fact. Even though I love these books, I hate that about those books.
I can't think of any. So, no, I can't think of any off the top of my head of a book that starts with C that I hate.
Do you love a book starting with the letter H?
Haven't read it in a super long time.
But you love the book Heidi?
I do. And this is an old copy. And it's very broken. Poor little thing.
I thought I had books that started with H. Do I not have books that start with the letter H? I love Howl's Moving Castle.
Well, there you go.
What is the weirdest book title on your shelf? It can be weird for any reason whatsoever.
I don't think I find any of these weird. Someone else might, but I don't think I do.
Okay, so no weird book titles. What about Plus Anima?
I suppose.
Stop licking.
But at the same time, once you know the story of it, you don't consider it weird anymore.
Oh no.
Kind of. Why is this one called chocolate?
Well, but
It doesn't really have much to do with chocolate.
Okay, then that's weird.
If you really think anything about chocolate, it would only be because she's part of a fandom.
A fandom for...
Actually, she joined a fandom for one group because she wanted to get closer to this other group. But she joined this group's fandom.
And what does it have to do with chocolate?
Exactly.
There is not... It never says in the book why it's...
That's where I say
Okay.
It doesn't technically have anything to do with chocolate as far as I can think of.
Okay. Shoot, why was I thinking of... Oh, I was thinking of one. Passe o montanai arigachi. We don't have an umbrella. What's that supposed to mean?
And the rain is coming from inside the umbrella versus outside the umbrella.
Oh, so it is. That's a pretty weird title. And because this book is in Japanese and I haven't seen the show because we were supposed to watch it together, neither one of us is supposed to watch it on our own, so years later we still haven't seen it.
Oh, that's the one by Shige.
Yes, this is one of the books by Shige. From which Heisei? Or
News.
from the Johnny's Entertainment Group news. I don't know what the story's about, so I can't tell you why it's got a title like that. So to me, that is a really weird title.
Question number 5. What is the shortest book title on your shelf?
How do you even say that? Aenir?
Aenir.
Okay.
I think that would be it. 5. Yeah, because that one's 6.
Well, I didn't necessarily mean letters, but okay.
No, this is like this. That's the name of the book. But then, yeah, this one has 6, and that's the name of the book. This is the 3rd book in 7th Tower. This is the 1st book, and I'm not sure what it's called. There's only 2.
There's hair in my
I
phone.
don't know
That's
when the 3rd
annoying.
one's gonna come out. I have no idea. But it's probably this one's my shortest because it's only 5 letters long.
The shorter one is Burn, again by Shige.
Wait.
I can't even promote these books properly because, like, I own them because they're by Shige, but I don't even know if they're any good.
Yeah,
I still haven't.
but it doesn't mean I can't zoom in on it.
Yes. Do I have a short one? I don't think I have a short one unless you count Hobbit.
What is the longest title of a book on your shelf?
The longest titled book on my shelf is So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Book 4 in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. Because book 2 is The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, which is 7 words. But So Long and Thanks for All the Fish is 8 words long, so that would be the longest. And possibly one of the weirdest.
The fusion of princes is fairly long. Oh,
Big
Miss
words.
Peregrine Home for Peculiar Children. That would be the longest title on my shelf.
What about, like, the sequels don't have longer titles?
Mm-mm.
Okay, there you
The
go.
ones I have, it's Holy City and Library of Souls. So Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children would be the longest title.
Here's one that is a
This
tricky
would be
one
the
because you
longest.
can't spend time looking inside every single book you own, but at least that you know of off the top of your head, what is the oldest book on your shelf?
First published in France as, I can't say that, in 1864.
1864. Okay, that's an old book.
The Journey to the Center of the Earth probably is the oldest one I have on this shelf. I'm not sure how old these ones are, but it's probably this one.
The oldest book on my shelf is a good question. I have a lot of old books on my shelf. Well, this one's so old it doesn't have a copyright written in it. Fair Maid of Perth by Sir Walter Scott. I have lots of old books on my shelf. Whoa, almost going backwards. Pocket edition, 1908.
Mm-hmm.
So Stocky & Co., which I still haven't read, is from 1908.
Question number 7. What is the youngest book on your shelf?
Crap. I didn't know.
This is the newest one that I've bought. Hey, I even
Yeah,
written my
but-
name in it. What the heck? Yeah. Paperback edition, June 2020.
Oh, June
So-
2020. So there you go.
Sorcery of Thorns is probably the youngest one on my shelf because this is the last
June
one I
2020.
bought.
Yeah, I don't even know if I own one that's 2020.
It wasn't June 2020. It was just 2020.
Oh, I thought you said June. Okay,
I think
2020.
it's actually supposed to be 2019 was the first time it was published. Yeah, first published was 2019.
Okay.
Either way, it's the youngest one on my shelf.
October 1999 was Black Butler book
1999?
2019.
That's better.
2019 book 28. I think there might be another one coming out right away, but I don't think it's out yet. And this is the English edition published because the Japanese are further ahead already than this. They're like a book or two ahead. But that one is probably the newest. This is end of 2019. Which author do you own the most books by?
Does that count?
Yes and no, because I was thinking you could answer it in two different. I was thinking you could answer it in two different ways. Animorph series by K. Applegate. No, but if it wasn't a series, do you own non-series? Because there's two ways to answer it. One is the longest series. Obviously, you own most books. Animorphs K. Applegate. Do you own a non-series? Do you have more than one book that isn't in a series by one author? Or if you count a series as one set.
Probably this, because I have a Cornus series and I have a bunch of the Pern series by Anne McCaffrey.
So that's two series by one author.
Probably Garth Nix, because I have 3 series right here. I have Keys to the Kingdom. That's the last book in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I drop hot chocolate on it, or chocolate of some kind on it. And Confusion of Princes. It's not a series, it's a single book. And now I have to take these down.
Well, we already saw the title of one of them, but...
Seventh Tower, also the last book.
So you own 2 series and 1 single book.
Yes.
You said 3 series.
Sorry. I meant 2 series and 1 single book.
So there you go. Run right above the other. She owns the most books by K. Applegate, but they're all in the same series. And she owns 2 separate series and a single book by one author.
Well, Shige's book, I own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books by Shige. All completely separate books. Because Pink and Gray, Flashlight Scramble, Burn, We Don't Have an Umbrella. What? I just realized the subtitle thing that's written in English is Of Ants and Umbrellas. Definitely the weirdest title on my bookshelf.
It was on your face.
And this one, I don't remember what it's called, is split into 2 books. Charles Dickens I have quite a few by. I don't even know where they all are because they all got scattered on my shelf. Because there's Oliver Twist and there's Great Expectations and there's, where to go? Charles Dickens. Tale of Two Cities, Christmas Carol, and A Cricket on the Earth. So that's 3, 4, there's 5 by him. Charles Dickens. 6, because I own David Copperfield, so maybe it's Charles Dickens.
Question 9. What book should have a sequel, but as far as you know, doesn't?
Well, when I was writing that question, I was literally thinking of this one. It's a graphic novel, and it literally stops in the middle of everything. The end. For now. Does not have a sequel, and this book was written in 2012. Yeah. It made me really mad, too, because it was really interestingly done. It's a graphic novel. It's a really interesting story, and it's like, the end for now. And there's no sequel from 2012. There's probably others, but that one made me mad. So I was like, 8 years ago, no sequel. For now, it's an awfully long time.
Silver Boy by...
N.M. Browning.
Why?
What I remember of this one, it kind of ended somewhat oddly. And either it could have been longer, or it could have had a series. Or at least one more book. Honestly.
Okay.
I really like this book. I haven't read it in a while.
And the flip side is that, which book should not have had a sequel? Wow, she's quick.
I hate the ending of this darn series.
But would the first book have, been enough?
Actually, it was pretty satisfying. Not everybody would say that. What's another one that shouldn't have a sequel?
Do you have, a book with a sequel that could have done without it? Because you didn't like the sequel, or because it just kind of wasn't really necessary, or...
We could kind of sort of go with these. I mean, he kind of writes them as single books. So on one hand, they're single books. But on the other hand...
It's kind of a disappointment because he went ahead and wrote a second and called it a series and never made more.
Sort of.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
Because it is considered a series, but these are the only 2 books in it.
Yeah, which irritates me to pieces.
It should be considered a duology.
Yeah.
And this one was creepy.
So is the first one if you don't like spiders, by the way.
Well, yeah, if you don't like spiders, this is creepy. But this was super super creepy. Some of the ideologies and whatnot in it.
I still haven't read either one of those. I watched the movie of The Hangman's Curse, and it is one of the creepiest ones ever with spiders and all that, but haven't read the second one yet. Where was I?
Was there one that had a sequel that shouldn't have? Maybe Riders versus Seeker? Because the problem is, she did this one really well, and it really drew you in and all the rest of the stuff, but the problem is you go into this one, and as I wrote on my nice long little rant in the back here, this second book, I mean, this one of the characters disappeared, but the problem is she didn't have to have done that, because the whole thing is where they disappeared to, when they go and get her back, it gets into theology that is like grossly incorrect, and it makes me really mad and really upset that these characters supposedly know their Bible and supposedly pray, etc., and they know nothing. My word, do they ever go off track into the Netherlands of, okay, disturbing. So, that one shouldn't have had a sequel. You're welcome.